With data growth rates now measuring in the tens of zettabytes annually, it comes as no surprise that IBM's announcements around tape storage have the industry buzzing. We traveled to the IBM Executive Briefing Center in Tucson, Arizona to get information about IBM's new LTO 8 technology firsthand.
A few years ago we celebrated 60 years of tape and 59 years of tape is dead. So yeah, tape is very uniquely positioned for really kind of, I'll say, two key aspects. One is the extremely high capacity. It stays on that areal density curve and stays ahead of disk, and while there may be occasional variations of coming closer together and opening up differences, tape has maintained that for many, many years. The cost effectiveness is, goes across industries. Everybody needs to save money. Everybody needs to deal with storing in a cost effective manner. And then kind of a side highlight of cost effectiveness, there's a lot of parameters in TCO, including density. And so tape densities, exceed all other storage densities as we maintain those areal density improvements.
I started out 31 years ago with IBM as a developer for DFHSM on the mainframe, and its sole function was to move hot data once it cools off from disk to move it onto tape. And 80–90% of mainframe customers, their data is cold on tape, being kept for long-term purposes for a variety of legitimate reasons, leaving the disk and flash for the hot data that needs all of that performance at its optimum. Now, on other distributed systems such as Unix and Windows and Linux, we're finding the same dynamic applies just 20 years later. People are finding that they're keeping data longer for analytics, they're keeping data longer for government compliance, they're keeping it for active archives so that they can reference back to the information. And this stuff is cold, it's not accessed on a daily basis. So yes, you still have 80–90% of your data is cold, with the hot edge, the data that is the most recent, the most active data, still on flash and disk.
If you've been around for a long time, it was like, remember the Chrome tape, which was the good stuff that you flick the switch in your tape deck to have the good performance. All technologies have evolutions like this, Chrome to MP to barium ferrite. What comes next? Strontium ferrite. I've heard other things in the press people have talked about. I think the sputtered is just another example of the technology that's potentially yet to be put into tape. I like to point at those as we have roadmap insurance. We're not sitting there bumping our heads against some technology law of physics like the hard disk is. We have a lot of options going forward, and whether it's Fuji on Strontium or Sony on sputtered or something else that we haven't yet heard about, there's something that we can use to keep pushing the value prop of tape forward.
With today's announcement of a new LTO 8 tape drive, IBM is demonstrating its continued support for the LTO tape roadmap. To learn more about IBM's products and solutions with respect to tape technology, contact your IBM representative or IBM business partner today.